So we have been taking a deep and beautiful look at being who our souls came here to be. This is the fourth out of 4 of these talks. So we're going to anchor it in today, anchoring our authentic selves. And we've explored the 7 qualities of the authentic self that support us to arrive at the center, the place where we began, the place where we remember who and whose we are, one with the one. As a brief reminder, we're going to go over all 7 really briefly. And what I did was in your bulletins, I put some affirmations. So each one, as I say the 7, we're going to have an affirmation at the end. We'll do together, okay? So the first was wholeness. Wholeness is remembering that we are connected to the whole, connected to everyone and everything, whether we like it or not. We are connected. If we believe in these teachings, we are connected to one. There's only one consciousness, right? And we're all part of that one consciousness. So therefore, everything is whole and complete. Just the way we are. And we're beautiful just the way we are. So here we go. Together? I am whole. I am complete. I am one with the one. The second quality is reverence, recognizing the presence of life within all, and honoring it as sacred. So our affirmation, which by the way is in your bulletins, I hope you got a bulletin coming in. Okay, so we're going to say this affirmation together. I revere all life because it is part of the whole, and it is holy. Brings us to 3, fearlessness. Facing life fearlessly because I know that I know that I know that I am one with God. Oh, I already did that. No, I didn't. Okay, so the affirmation is, I know who walks as me, so I am fearless. It's important to remember. Don't let people rob you of your peace by putting you into fear. Fearlessness. And then one of my favorites is integrity. Leading our lives in such a way that we have strong moral principles. Being truthful and doing what we believe is the right thing. Affirmation. My outer actions reflect my inner wholeness. So then, humility. Being open to see different viewpoints, receptive to new understandings, and not stuck in our perceptions or interpretations of the way things have to be, right? So our affirmation, in humility, I am open and receptive to life. 6, equanimity. And that's having a balance in our state of mind and emotions so they're not whipping us all around the place as our emotions tend to do if we let them. So here is our affirmation. I face all of life's conditions with ease and grace. And finally, love. That will always be there. And this is the unconditional love. This is divine love that we speak of. Remembering that your authentic self is the direct descendant of unconditional love. And that makes you a perfect delivery system for it on this planet. So, our affirmation. I am a perfect delivery system for love. I won't say I love that, but I really, really like that. I am a perfect delivery system for love, true love, which is unconditional love, which is divine love. So today we want to anchor the emergence of our authentic selves in this sacred and holy space by the powerful practice of prayer. So prayer is going to be our major focus today, which is a wonderful thing to have a focus on, right? The Bible tells us at Mark 11:22-24. This is the Lamsa translation, in case you're wondering. If you have faith in God, truly I say unto you, whoever should say to the mountain, be moved and fall into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will be done, it will be done unto him. Therefore I say to you, anything you pray for and ask, believe and you will receive it. It will be done for you. So those are really powerful words, and they help us navigate this earthly system. These spiritual teachings are just, I have to always say this because they really help me, and I know they help a lot of you, navigate through this experience of life, which can be a roller coaster, that's for sure. And I don't like roller coasters, I'll tell you that right now. So I'm sure that you recognize these words from those words from the master teacher, the way shower, our brother, Jesus of Nazareth. And Holmes, Dr. Ernest Holmes, wrote this in Science of Mind, page 160. There is no one who believes more in faith, more in prayer, than the one who practices daily the science of mind. And what I like to say is practices daily the prayer of any religion, because prayer is powerful when it's done with pure intention, when it's done with integrity. All prayer works because it's going to go into the law, which we're going to talk a little bit about. Our theme this morning then is prayer, affirmative prayer, or spiritual mind treatment, as Holmes calls it. And this prayer we're going to use today is applying to our authentic selves, anchoring our belief in who and what we are. We are told in Scripture to pray without ceasing. And what does that mean? It means to practice daily our spiritual principles, or placing our undivided attention without a doubt, faith, and trust in God, in the universal consciousness, in the pure higher energy of all that is. And we are part of that higher energy of all that is because we are pure consciousness. So therefore we are all one, right? If we're all pure consciousness and God is pure consciousness, we're all one. We are all one. And those are lofty and very powerful statements, and they sound really terrific. Yes, I will put my undivided, without a doubt, faith and trust in God. And I will put my undivided faith and trust in my authentic self and in the power behind my words, right? That's wonderful. Feel really good when I say that. Until I get scared. Or I don't feel good. I don't feel good about myself. Or until something happened in my life that wasn't what I had planned. Sometimes that happens. Or until I show less than my authentic self, and then my faith and trust in God just goes flying right out the window sometimes. You've seen that happen, I'm sure, to your friends, to your family, to different people. Of course not to you, but so many people around you. It's like, wow, they just prayed and now look at them. So, can we say yes to the idea of prayer without ceasing until blank you fill in what that blank is. I want to pose 3 questions this morning, the answers to which may help us to pray without ceasing. They might help us to put our undivided faith and trust in God every day. They might help us to anchor more deeply into our authentic selves, and they just might move us to a greater recognition of the power of our word. And these 3 questions, one is so great because I think there's a song following that it has the title of it. Not this one. Who do you think you are? What are you thinking? What will you do next? That's what we're going to talk about. So the first one, who do you think you are? And here's a wonderful concept to ponder. God is the power that is greater than we are, and yet right where we are. And the doorway to God is right within us. It's always within us. But we have to open that door and allow it to fill our awareness. It's there whether the door's closed or not, but we can't feel it or use it unless we open the door. So, could you please repeat this after me? The doorway to God is found in me.
The doorway to God is found in me.
The entire purpose of the second step of spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer, and there's 5 steps. When you just heard Reverend Michael do the prayer, he was following 5 steps, but filling in as Spirit moves through him the words. So the first step is recognition of God, and the second step is unifying with that. I am all that God is. I am all that peace, that joy, that abundance, that beauty, whatever it is. So the doorway to God is like that second step. God is consciousness, as I said, and we are pure consciousness. So that is our essence. That is our essence. The doorway in me is open and wide to allow that full expression of who I am. That's praying without ceasing. Part of it. In order for us to speak our word with faith and conviction, we need to know who we are. We need to know that we're powerful creators of all that is. And if we're not aware of that, we just go along with the masses, with everything that's going on, and equanimity goes flying out the window because we're all over the place in our emotions. I want to offer you a series of phrases when spoken alone make no sense. But I'm going to speak them alone anyway. But then when I repeat them, they're going to make perfect sense to you. So you're going to listen to them once. But how could I not? I am the divine made manifest. How could I not? I am God in form. How could I not? I am heir to the kingdom. How could I not? I am Spirit's expression. How could I not? I am the all good. How could I not? I am God's power. How could I not? I am the givingness of God expressing as me. How could I not? I am the doorway through which God enters this world. These are truth statements. They are truth statements to counteract all that crazy, negative self-talk that goes through our 60,000 or more thoughts a day. All day long, the mind is thinking, 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 thinking. And I think you know what I mean. It's the chatter of self-worth. You look in a mirror. And, you know, you say, oh, what a beautiful being of light you are today. If you're me, you don't physically do that right away until you're reminded, opening that door. But anyway, So this is where those statements of truth make sense. I am not good enough. How could I not? I am the divine made manifest. I can't seem to succeed. But how could I not? I am God informed. I don't deserve abundance. Boy, I never think that. But anyway, I don't deserve abundance. How could I not? I am heir to the kingdom of good and pure abundance. I don't merit love. How could I not? I am Spirit's expression. I can't have good things in my life. How could I not? I am the all good. I can't stand up for myself. How could I not? I am God's power. I don't seem to have enough. How could I not? I am the givingness of God, expressing as me. I don't have any talents to share with anyone. How could I not? I am the mode through which God enriches the universe. And I can't seem to find my way. How could I not? When the door through which God enters is right inside of me. It's inside of each and every one of us. We pray without ceasing, without even realizing it. When we catch ourselves in those situations of, being human, having those thoughts go through our mind, we catch ourselves and we get centered in those truth statements. And we remember who we are. We remember. That's prayer without ceasing. Brings us to our second. What are you thinking? Well, if you're the doorway through which God enters the world, then what, my friends, are you thinking? What are you thinking? If this is God coming through, and we know with God is love and law, right? From our teachings, love and law. And there's a beautiful song entitled, I don't know who the author is, but it's entitled, Your Thoughts Are Prayers. The lyrics go like this. Our thoughts are prayers. We are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And that's true. That is the absolute truth. If we are already praying without ceasing, because every thought that we think activates the law. You can use the law of attraction if you want to bring that in. There's so many different, but they're all the same. That is love. Love is the idea, it's the absolute, and law makes it possible. So the law is the doer. So what we think goes into the law and becomes our experience. Remember, that's how powerful. That's why I say we're powerful beings, because of that. And of course, our intention, what are you thinking, is to consciously elevate our thoughts. That's why those truth statements are great. So that our thoughts are in alignment with our spiritual truth and goodness. Or as Paul said in his writings, I love this quote, to the people of Corinth, he said this. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honorable, whatsoever things are just and pure and lovely and of good rapport, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Keep our thoughts in that elevated state. And when we forget, that's okay. Catch ourselves and we go back. This way affirmations are powerful. They're thoughts, and we can make them positive thoughts. Ernest Holmes put it this way in the second chapter of his Introduction to Science of Mind. That's our textbook. There's many books, but that's the main one. He wrote this: "We are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by and immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. We call it the law, the sum total of all our thoughts, will, purpose, and beliefs, and creates a tendency in this law that causes it to react to us. This is why Jesus summed up the whole philosophy in this simple statement: it is done unto you as you believe." And that is one of the most powerful statements to make. It is done unto you as you believe. What are you believing? Are you believing, oh, ain't it awful? Well, then, guess what? It will be. And more things will come along, because we are creating and attracting that into our lives. So, in How to Use Science of Mind, he wrote, "The thought that reaches the highest level will always have the greatest power. Spiritual consciousness is power." That brings us to our third question. What will you do next? What will you do next? But what will you do when you forget who you are? When you forget that your thoughts really are prayers and they are creating. What will you do next? Well, I propose you go to somebody who can see and know the truth about you, and who can speak your prayer for you, and who can know and believe for you until you can do it for yourself. And I know years ago, I was really in that when I was dealing with some, things happen in life, some major issues, like out of my control. It's another person. Out of my control. But if, it's your child or, your spouse or whatever, or your partner, it affects you. I had to call my practitioner and some other ministers as well. I needed the full force for prayer to get me on the right track. And it always does, because our practitioners are trained in affirmative prayer, in spiritual mind treatment, to know the spiritual truth about us, for us, when we can't do it for ourselves. So important. So important. And if you want a prayer, or you want a full hour-long session, the names and numbers are on the back of the bulletin. I know you can call anyone, including me, for prayer. And if they're available, they will do a prayer for you right there. But I encourage all of us to go get a session. I mean, I don't understand why no one's getting sessions. I always got sessions. I guess I had a lot more going on in my life than any of you. I guess so. So, I invite you to call one of them. But right now, I'm going to close this talk with an affirmative prayer. Okay, so let's just relax, get comfortable in your seat, and close your eyes and take a really beautiful deep life breath. And exhale. Where I know that there is one power, one absolute, infinite power. And that power is me. I am my authentic self. I am the power of good in action. And all of my thoughts and activities are filled with the 7 qualities of my authenticity. I declare this for each and every person in this room. For I go to that place of my consciousness that recognizes the infinite good of God is always in motion. There is no stagnation in this this consciousness of energy, all energy, pure energy, love energy, good energy. That is God. That is the God that we believe in. And that God is the truth of who I am and who each one in this room is. Full, complete, whole, filled with integrity, filled with right action and right thinking. Well, we are all part of the one, a part of the unity of this loving energy that we call God. And so I declare right now that each one here is a beacon and a being of light, spreading that light where it is needed, in the darkness of our world, in the darkness of our own thinking. Oh, I embrace that truth. I embrace that word of light and love within me, and I know there is no separation truly in the one consciousness. There can't be a separation. For there's no separation in God. There's no separation in the life that created all that is, was, and ever could be. So therefore, each one here is a part of that loving energy, a part of that force for good. And I give thanks for knowing these truth statements. I give thanks for the knowledge of my belief and each one's belief that there is one power, one consciousness, one loving energy, and that we are it. It moves through us as us. It is us. So that when we leave this realm and leave this human experience, we are on a new adventure because we are eternal beings of consciousness. And I give thanks for knowing this. I give thanks for the love that's in this room. And I give thanks for all the good that is yet to unfold in each and everyone's life. For I am declaring through this word, through this prayer, that it is taking place right now. And so it is.
And so it is.